All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Makakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutation to all the brothers and the few sisters out there. Unto those like foreigners from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. It's going to be a quick show through the spirit of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Lord, our brothers that edify. Stranger things are not that strange any longer. As the days go by, these worlds are going to come colliding with the current present world as it is. There are spirits that's out there. There are spirits that's out there running amok, jumping on people left, right, and left. All right, and this shows right here that it's real. Oh, it's beyond real. And we have gotten, obviously we come into the end of the society, and at the end, that which was hidden is coming out. Now, there's a thing when you really contemplate it, when you go through all these great empires that came before, and all these empires, they all was into their own thing, but they was always on the left hand side of things. They believe in the left hand side of the spiritual realm, but they did it openly. They didn't hide it. Whatever they believed in, that's what they believed in. That was a public thing. So what makes America so different? Well, America is different because America's so-called foundation was built on a lie. It was, that lie is that they were quote-unquote Christians. Okay? I always bring up the story Slovakia. I always bring up the story of me going to Rome. And when I went to Rome, I went to the tour. A lot of places I've been through. As a young man, you go to certain places. You don't go there for fun. I mean, you go there for fun, not for to look at things. But Rome was one of those places where you had to go and look. Take your time and look at things. So when I went to this, they took us on a tour in this church called, I believe it's Saint Sebastian Church, if I'm not mistaken. I got the pictures somewhere. But on top, which is the church itself, and it's supposed to be built on a saint that it got shot up with a whole bunch of arrows, but yet he was still alive. And they made a church out of him. But what they did was, in this church, so on top was a Christian church where people, worship but Jesus. And downstairs, they took us on another tour. So downstairs, which was like it's like a cave. I forgot how we got down there. That shit was huge. And what was down there? It was a pagan altar. Basically, up top was where the Christians was pretending to be, and downstairs where the true attentions, and they was still worshiping their different gods and doing what they do best, sacrificing children and all this other ish. So I bring up that story because that's how America is. America, like, when Yahushua was speaking to the Pharisees and scribes and Pharisees, he called them, said that there was like white sepulchres, but inside was full of dead man's bones. Well, today's environment is like that. You got the good stuff up top that you think the morals and just on point, like everything is accordingly, but deep down inside, the secrets behind everything was dark. It was filthy. It was wicked. Matter of fact, the premise of this whole place was built on that. Real quick, I was gonna get this, but you know what? I don't have to get this. Since I've said that, get this real quick. Isaiah Let me get this one. Isaiah 29 and 15. Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the dark, Slakia. And they say, who seeth us and who knows us? So they're working in the dark. Alright? Everything is hidden. Matter of fact, another real quick. Proverbs 6. Is it 16? No, I'm sorry. 6 and 12. It says, a naughty person, a wicked man, walketh with a forward mouth. He winketh with his eyes. He speaketh with his feet. He teacheth with his fingers. It's talking about these Freemasons. These people that do things in secret. All right, this is because America's built the greatest secret that this place is not a secret. What it's doing in the dark that's what they is really about, and what they do in the dark is what folds in the forefront. All right, it says forwardness is in his heart, which is his mind. And he deviseth mischief continually. He soweth discord, and that's what it's all. Well, that's what this whole place is about. All right, it's sowing discord, but doing things in the dark, in the secret. Nahum 3 and 4 says, because of the multitude of thy whoredoms, of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcraft, who selleth nations through her whoredom, and families through her witchcraft. Okay? Behold, I'm against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will discover thy skirt upon thy face. I will show the nations thy nakedness. And why would the Lord have to show the nakedness of this place? Because it was hidden. Everything has been hidden. All right? And thy kingdom's thy shame. So in the forefront, in the outside, it's seemingly beautiful. It's wholesome. The morale is on point. I was watching. I do gotta express my displeasure with this, but I was watching Truth Is, good channel. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Subscribe to it. Well, he had made a video of this nigga Drake and called him a PDF file, right? And he said he like them young, so Drake like young girls, and his whole thing is, and that's the moral standard in this backward society is weird. It's like what they should be complaining about, they don't complain about, and that they complain about, they shouldn't be complaining about. All right, he showed a video of a 21-year-old woman that was talking about Drake's father. I'm just bringing it up just to bring it up, but just show you how weird and backwards this place is. She was 21-year-old, and her and her friends wanted to go to a party where this rapper is, and it was really the father of that rapper, and he was trying to get him some young thing. And basically the guy was like, the apple don't fall far from the tree. And there's nothing wrong with that. If an old man wants to do it for a younger woman, there's nothing wrong with that. What an old man's supposed to do it for an old hag? So it's like certain things don't add up in this society. Why is that? Because this place is backwards. It's backwards. And the point of the matter is that which is spiritual in the society is deemed fake, fraudulent, hocus pocus, whatever, however you want to call it. Like, there's nothing spiritual about this place. They will deem that it's all about science, but in the dark, it's all about the negative things of this world. Okay, that they work on the left hand side, while the people, these imbeciles, believing that everything is just the way it is supposed to be. There's no, some believe in God, some don't believe in God. You know, some people, if something bad happens, they blame the devil. You know, so this society is backwards. This society doesn't know the Lord. They don't know the Most High. So when you see these spiritual things, which one more scripture before I go on, Proverbs. I mean, not Proverbs. Isaiah 19:14. It says, "The Lord have mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof." So the key thing is what? A spirit, and that spirit is perverseness. Okay, when you look up the word perverse, it's distorting, perverting, warping. All right. So this distorted spirit. So that which is to be looked upon as something bad or ill in the society is put up in the highest of pedestals. Okay, the more wicked you are, the more far you get in this world. You think that was by accident? No, that was not by accident. That's how it was set up. You know, you commit adultery, you do all sorts of bad, evil things, you're heavily rewarded. Okay, so the Lord mingled this perverseness. It was the Lord that did this. It says, "And have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit." So when a drunken man staggereth in his vomit, he's not thinking clearly. He don't see things clearly. And that's how the Lord wanted it to be. All right. This place is completely perverted. So since it's perverted, since it does not want to acknowledge its evil, the Lord is going to show. This is why the scripture says this real quick. Jeremiah 30:7, it says, "At last, for that day is great, so that none is like it, even the time of Jacob's trouble." So it's telling you this particular time is a time that's never been in recorded history, has ever been. Now, when you go into the scriptures, what is spiritual apparitions? Absolutely. I'm going to read some of it right now. Wisdom of Solomon, because this is what happened in Egypt. And America's modern day Egypt. All right? Carries the same spirit. Like, once again, they proclaim that there's no spirit on any of that sort. People be nice only in the time of Christmas. You know, you got to be nice around that time. You got to show love. But the rest of the year could be a demon. Right? But all this has been doing is denying spiritual things, has made people spiritually retarded. Like, you go any culture, I'm from the tribe of Levi. Spirituality, as we all know, that's secondhand nature for that particular tribe. But that goes for everybody outside of America. Everybody outside of America know there's spirits out there. Now, how do people deal with these spirits is differs because of different religion and different cultures and all this other stuff. But people do believe in the spiritual force, but only here in America, where it's considered to be a spook or a thing of, just something to be told, like it doesn't exist. You see these stupid movies that they put out. It's just to scare them a little bit, and that's it. But real quick, and this is history. Wisdom of Solomon. I start at first chapter, 17:1. For great are thy judgments, and cannot be expressed. Therefore, the unnurtured souls have erred. For when the unrighteous man thought to oppress the holy nation, they being shut up in their houses, in their prisons of darkness, and feathered with bonds of a long night, lay their exile from the eternal Slovakia. I don't know why I got a tongue tie. Providence. Sorry, the eternal providence. Sorry, for while they purpose to lay hid in their secret sins, they were scattered unto under a dark veil of forgetfulness, being horribly astonished and terrible with strange apparitions. And that's what we just saw. Now, the beasts, okay, cats, dogs, they could see things. And now the technology, people been seeing things, but we didn't have the technology back in the days to sit there, oh, you saw that? No, it was something like a flash, like, nah, this is not real. Okay? This is not real because of whatever. It doesn't exist. People are scared of more black cats than the actual spirits, you know? And words are powerful. Words are powerful. So whatever you put out there, that's what you get. So there's certain rules and regulations that the spiritual realm, which is controlled by the Most High, okay, at any drop of a dime, the Lord could use these same apparitions, let's look up the word apparition too, can get people, okay? Now, when you read, I'm gonna get that too. Come on, Mark. Okay. Apparition. A ghost or a ghost-like figure of a person, a headless apparition. Okay, so they saw spirits. Egypt at that particular night, the night of darkness, they saw spirits. They saw spiritual things that could come at type of whatever form they wanted. Proving this is why you have movies like Ghostbusters. All right, then everybody's thinking it's a joke. Oh, they figure it out. You have shows on Discovery Channel that show you, oh, the EMPs and everything like that. This world exists. It always existed. Okay, it existed back then, and is making his grand return. All right, for neither might the corner that held them kept them from but noise as waters falling down sounded about them, and sad visions appeared unto them with heavy countenance. No power of fire might give them light, neither could the bright flames of the stars endure to lighten the horrible night. Only that appeared unto them a fire kindled of itself. And the scriptures tell you about the angels being as fire. All right, spirits are flames of fire. Okay, so they had they haunting night. Okay, they had a great haunting night, and it says, for being much terrified, they thought that the things which they saw to be worse than the sight they saw not. Showing that what? The unseen world is important. The unseen world is the true world. Okay? And it says, as for the illusions of art magic, they were put down, and the vaunting in wisdom was reproved with disgrace, because they couldn't explain it. They couldn't explain what they saw. All right, they could not explain anything. No tricks, bags, no singers, nothing that they said. Another film. Oh, I always bring this out when I talk about this. The Cabin in the Woods. Cabin in the Woods. Oh man, that movie is so effing great. I think the last time I did a show like this, I make mention of it. And it shows you in that particular film that They play dumb. Oh, they play dumb. But they know exactly what they're doing. They know all the sacrifice. Because America is nothing but. America is nothing but. Uh, um, all these failed kingdoms mixed in one. So they followed every single thing. Every seance, every beastly apparitions that was spoken of in history, it will be found here. But this movie is a great movie to watch. Fucking hilarious. It's supposed to be a horror movie, but it's hilarious. But this is what they saw. This is what they saw. Some terrible things. It said, for they that promised to drive away the terrors and troubles, talking about the Magi's, from a sick soul, were sick themselves of fear. So the ones that supposed to be able to combat and fight them off, they was shocked. All right. It says worthy to be laughed at. For though no terrible thing did fear them, yet being scared with beasts that passed by and the hissing of serpents, they died for fear, denying that they saw the air, which could of no side be avoided. For the wickedness condemned by her own witness is a very tumult, and being pressed with conscience, always forecasting grievous things. For fear is nothing else but the betraying of the succors, which reason offer, which succors means help. So their own conscience was failing them. Their reasonings lost them because they could not explain the things that they saw. So if you see something running and no top, that's a scary shit. You know, you can't explain that. There's no words. You just explain it and that's it. But you don't know where it come from. If it's still there, did it leave the facility? Nothing. It's nothing you can do about it. All right. And this was happening in the time of Egypt. So how much more is going to happen now? Let me get this one for. How much more is going to happen now? Job, I believe it's. I should have looked it up before. Is it 14? Nah. Oh no, I think it's Job 8. Salakia, it's a particular Job had an experience himself. All right. Oh, then well, I'm gonna try to find this real quick in Job. But before I go on, why would Job being quote unquote plagued for? Because the Lord. Oh, this is the 3rd chapter. Okay. Should be the 3rd. Slakia. Let me just type it in. I'm just trying to remember how it goes. And this is very important. Sorry. Okay, Job 4, Slakia. Job 4 and 12. It says, Now a thing was secretly brought to me, mine ear received a little thereof. and thoughts from the visions of night, when deep sleep falleth on men, fear came upon me, and trembling, which made all my bones to shake. Then a spirit passed before me. He said, before my face, Slakia. Let me read that again. It said, then a spirit passed before my face. The hair of my flesh stood up, and it stood still, but I could not discern the form thereof. An image was before my eyes. There was silence, and I heard a voice saying, shall a mortal man be more just than the Most High? Shall a man be more pure than his Maker? Behold, he put no trust in his servants, and his angels he charged with folly. So the Lord charged his angel with folly. What do that mean? That means he really, technically, the Lord don't need them, but he uses them to do certain things down on earth. All right. So yeah, spirits are out there. We all of us know that, but Esau played it off in a way where you don't acknowledge that fact, and not acknowledging or respecting that there are spirits out there. And that is a great offense. Now you're looking for trouble, basically. All right. So how much less than them that dwell in the house of clay, whose foundation is the dust, which are crushed before the moth. So Job had seen apparitions. He was visited by spirits. All right. Another thing that I was going to say, why did this happen for? Because the Lord took that hedge from him. Once those hedges is down, okay, those spirits are there. Now, there's more. No, that was a point. There's another one. Did I finish here? Oh no, let me keep going. Back in here. It says, Wisdom of Solomon 17 and 13. And the expectation from within, being less, counted the ignorance more than the cause which bringeth the torment. But they sleeping in the same sleep that night, which was indeed intolerable. So they couldn't get a good night rest. All right, they was being tortured, and which came upon them out of the bottom of invulnerability, hell. Did it mean the actual hell, the gates of hell open? No. The condition that they was in they was being tormented. All right, that's a thing of hell. You catch it hell. It says, being partly vexed with monstrous apparitions. So they were seeing things that the faint of heart could not deal with. All right, and they partly fainted. Their heart faileth them for a sudden fear, and not looked for came upon them. So then whosoever their fall down was straitly kept and shut up in prison with iron bars. Okay, so the point was, they seen things, and it goes on and on. But this is what the Lord did in the night, those nights of darkness. All right. Now, without lights and so forth, your eyes need to be adjusted. You hear the animals and so forth, but you have spirits out there. Oh, like that woman in New York City, Bronx, 3 o'clock in the morning. Why would you be out at 3 o'clock in the morning? Then she got, which is terrible. That niggas are fucking terrible. But it just shows you certain times of the night, which everybody knows you're not supposed to be out there. All right, because that's not your time. That's not your hour. Okay. And this proved it. It says, for whether he were husbandman or shepherd or laborer in the field, he was overtaken and endured the necessity which could not be avoided, for they were all bound with one chain of darkness. whether it was whistling, sorry, whistling wind or melodious noise of birds among the spreading branch, or pleasing fall of water running violently, or a terrible sound of stone cast down, or a running that could not be seen, or skipping beasts, or roaring voice of most savage wild beasts, a rebounding echo from the hollow mountains. These things made them to swoon from fear. For the whole world shine with clear light, and none were hindered in their labor. Over them only was spread an heavy night, and an image of that darkness which should afterwards receive them, but yet were they unto themselves more grievous than the darkness, because one section was pure dark, and the next section was normal as it was, and that time that was what Israel dwelled at. All right, so the Lord even separate that terror, which got me thinking of other scriptures, because why would it, especially we read that the Lord mingled a perverse spirit, that everything they did in the darkness, this is the recompense. Okay, scripture had something beautiful. Now, if I get that one, you know what? Job, since I'm in Job 10 and 20, it says, oh, that's what I was thinking about. I got it. Job 10 and 20. Are not my days few? Cease then, and let me alone, that I may take comfort in little. Before I go, whence shall I not return, even to the land of darkness and shadow of death? In the land of darkness, as darkness itself, and of the shadow of death, were without any order, of where the light is as darkness. And that's America. America is a shadow of death. All right, the light with no dark. The light that is in this land is darkness itself. Why? Because it is. I was thinking about it. Matthew 24 and 12. It says, and because iniquity shall abound. Look up the word iniquity. Greek word is aman. The condition of without law, because of ignorant of it. So we live in a lawless land, despite it has its laws. So the outside, it's seemingly in order, but deep down inside is out of order, because it's darkness itself, because of violating it, contempt and violation of law, iniquity, wickedness, and that's iniquity. All right. So this is the laws of the Most High is transgressed heavily in this land. So what does that breeds wicked spirits. All right, that's what it does. So it says, because iniquity shall abound. Let's look at the word abound. To increase, to multiply, to be increased, be multiplied, multiply, to be increased, to multiply. Right? The love of many shall wax cold. And the brother had stated, and I looked it up too, it was crazy. The word for cold is psycho. To breathe, blow, cool by blowing, to be made or grow cool or cold, metaphorically of waning love. It says, which means changing love. Like the moon cycle. So when the moon cycle goes back to lunatic. All right, certain things happen in a full moon. You get epilepsy, right? When you read in the gospel, one of the sick people had a family member come and man begged the Lord for his son and said he's a lunatic. Epilepsy. Okay, that's because spirits was on him. It says to breathe but gently, thus differing on one hand from, which denotes probably a forcible uh, respiration on the other from the base of G109, which reference properly inanimate breeze, that is implication of reduction of temperature by evaporation or to chill. So people have become cold. All right. So a practice that's being heavily here in the shores of America is coldness, heartlessness, and selfishness. All things that breeds wicked spirits. All right, evil spirits that are attached to it, attached to these things. Pride. Okay. Matter of fact, I read it. Let me go back to Proverbs 6. I believe it's so we read that 6. Let me go back to music 15. It says, therefore shall his calamity come suddenly, suddenly shall he be broken without remedy, which we read earlier about a man that's sneaky, and that's all this is about. Everything hidden. It says, verse 16, these 6 things doeth the Lord hate, yes, 7 is an abomination unto him. A proud look, in America about that. It's all about pride. A lying tongue, America's about that. Hands that shed innocent blood, the very foundation is based on that. A heart that deceiveth, a wicked imagination. That's why you have the elites. Okay, they don't follow the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord. Nothing. Feet that is swift to be. Feet that be swift and run to mischief. False witness that speak of lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren, which is the very foundation of this land. This land is filth. All right. Scriptures tell you what. Real quick, since I'm saying this, Numbers. I'm sorry. Numbers 35 and 33 says, so ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. And had this taken place? No. All right. Although we know that spirits go back to the Father, but this land is filthy. So with filthiness, what end up happening? All these spirits, all these wicked spirits are attached to this. Okay. And I'm not gonna get it. It tells you in Sirach about there be spirits that were created for vengeance. Okay. So you have spirits that's out there waiting for the orders of the Lord, which I'm just gonna end it off on this. But with all this being said, when these things being truly manifested in the time of Jacob's trouble, this is why we do what we do. All right. So when that time comes, we're protected. All right. Ephesians 6 and 10. It said, finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord. That's our strength. Because we know, according to Isaiah 45 and 7, who is the author of this? And the author of it is Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. All right. The Lord himself is the one that controls both sides. When you read about in is it First Kings? You can also read about it in Second Chronicles of the council that Micah had saw in heaven that was dealing what was going to happen to Ahab. All right, and all the spirits in the heavens were what's that word I'm looking for? It was a think tank. They was given their 2 cents in how they was going to deceive Ahab. What was going to happen to Ahab. Okay? So the Lord controls all. And we understand that. So if he controls all, we got to fear the Lord. And you know the Lord controls all. So it says, finally, my brother, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Knowing what he's capable of. It says, put on the whole armor of the Most High. So are we supposed to put on a physical armor? No. The spiritual armor is now. That's what we do. So that way, when that time comes, we are spiritually fortified. All right? We're spiritually fortified in Yahweh Shem Yahushai. So no matter what happens, Lord willing, like it says in Revelations 3 and 10, that he be there for the hour of temptations. Right? It says that you be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. When you look up the word wiles, it means methodo or methoda, which means the trickery. All right, trickery of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world. Who are the rulers of darkness of this? The elites. This is why they made everybody spiritually ignorant. Because if you don't know something, you don't know how to perceive it right. If you don't know how to perceive it right, you don't know how to conduct yourself, you leave yourself open. All right, you leave yourself open to the elements, so to speak. And it says, against spiritual wickedness in high places. And these spiritual wickedness in high places is right before our eyes. Right? So that's why you have men with men, women with women. These are spiritual things in the highest esteemed places. And that's exercise here. Is our filth. Right? And it says, wherefore take unto you the whole armor of the Most High, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, stand. And what we stand on? We stand on Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Okay? So when these things happen, and it will happen, all right, and it's going to surpass what happened in Egypt, it's going to surpass that, because that's what the scripture says, that we are going to be spiritually fortified through Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. There's going to be people that's going to be possessed, all right? And you don't know what they're coming for or what, but if you know who controls all, it won't affect you much. You know, you're like, oh man, this man got spirits on him. Yeah, he got spirits on him. And that's because that person did whatever they did, and the Lord put them spirits on them. Until, we're not going to go out there and just exercise every demon that's on people. Because some people are meant to be haunted by whatever's haunting them. And that's a God honest truth. I was thinking about it too. That's a God honest truth. There's forces out there. And these forces and these people being subject to these forces is by their own doing. That's the will of the Lord. And we are put in a prime position and to see these people rot out. So there's a great force out there. So with that being said, I want your brothers to edify through the Spirit. Shalom to the elect in the nation of Israel. Shalom.